everybody. So excited to see you. Thank you for joining us today. I am very excited to see you guys. It's been a while since I've been able to kind of have this opportunity to talk with you and be on Zoom with you and hear from you. So I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for coming. As we're all getting in here and getting set for everything, could you guys put in the chat here, can you let me know where you are from? I always love seeing where everybody's joining from and see if there's any connections, especially between anybody that's here. I see Tracy just joined us. She is in the Metro Detroit area like us. So hey, if you're in Metro Detroit, let me know. Woot woot. Be excited to say hi to you. But we also, there's a lot of other people, like I said, that either make connections in the same area or similar areas. And both Nick and I have lived in different parts of the country, so I just love seeing where everybody's from. I spent a lot of my childhood in Texas, so I always love to hear where people are from in Texas, and I don't know, just brings back good memories. So anyways, so excited to see you guys here. I'm glad you are here. Nick is getting everybody set up. Syracuse, I see from Carl. Good to see you. Let me just pull up. I messed the chat here. Let me find it here. There we go. Okay. So yes. All right. Versailles, Kentucky. Very nice. Ooh, Vegas. Hey, Lisa. How's it going? All right. Janet in Newport News. Hey, Lisa. Good to see you from Hawaii. Thanks for being here. All right. This is going to be fun, you guys. I love seeing, meeting new people. And also, I would love, if you don't mind, would you mind telling me how you have heard about Bookmore Brides, like where we may have connected in the past? I know some of us have been able to talk in previous training sessions and things like that. But if you found us through the podcast, or if you're in the Bookmore Brides community on Facebook or from Instagram, I would love to hear that as well. I just love seeing where all those connections are from. So thank you guys. All right, and today, you guys know we're going to be talking about how to recession-proof your wedding business. And I was looking up some things today, found some very interesting articles, interesting information. And you know, it's a lot of people have different definitions, right, of what it might be, whether we're in one already, whether we might be heading toward one. The one thing I do see is basically everyone seems to agree on is that there's some kind of weird stuff happening in the economy, right? And it's kind of stressful because we just came out of the pandemic, the economic, major economic effects of the pandemic, and it can be a little stressful, right? We're trying to figure how do we get things back to, quote unquote normal. And so when we hear things about like a recession or a down economy or anything like that, it's like, yeah, it gets a little, gets us a little riled up, a little stressed out, right? And I see that Lee is joining us from Birmingham, right, in the UK. Thank you for being here. And I'm sorry, this is going to be a lot of, I'm talking about the US economy. Hopefully that doesn't affect you too much. But either way, it doesn't matter. Everything I'm going to be teaching here are just solid, important things that we need to know, and that we need to make sure we are getting set in our wedding business. So it doesn't matter if you are in the UK, it doesn't matter if you are in the US and things are looking great in your area. If you are in a different part of the world and maybe the economy is a little weird right now, right? Things are a little strange, a little different. These are all things that are going to help you no matter what. I feel very confident about that. And I know that because we have seen it with our students. We have seen that when they put the things that I'm going to be teaching you about today and tomorrow into place, their wedding businesses thrive. They see the benefit of their efforts. They see more leads coming in, higher quality leads coming in. They're able to turn those leads into bookings much more quickly. They're getting those calls booked up, the sales calls that are getting scheduled through their website, especially when they weren't before. But also they're then able to take the leads that come into them, and they feel so much more confident closing them. And these are all things I'm going to be talking about today and tomorrow. I'm going to try to stay right on time for you guys so that way I can be respectful of your time as well as our teams. But I just want to let you guys know that if you guys have any questions throughout the training here today, feel free to put them into the chat. Nick is here. I think maybe if he can wave real quick. Nick? Hey, there's Nick. He's awesome. And if you guys have not met us before, so we are the owners of Bookmore Brides. We are husband and wife team. We work together on the business. My strengths are in the marketing and messaging side. Nick's are on the sales and business strategy side. He is very strong in those. So any questions you guys have about business or sales things and how this all kind of works together with that, he's your guy. And then I'll be talking today mostly from a marketing perspective, touching a little bit on sales tomorrow, just to give you a little preview. But any questions you have at any point through the training, let him know. Or if there comes a point where you want to get a little more in depth and maybe you'd like to have a little bit more of an in-depth conversation with us and understand like how something could work for you, getting some specific questions answered for your business, Nick will put a link to our consultation link in the chat, so that way you can set up a time totally free, just spend a couple minutes and ask your questions, and we will do our best to get you on your way and see if we can't help you get unstuck in a couple of areas that you might be frustrated with. So, all right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to get started. And like I said, if you guys have any questions along the way, just put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to keep on rolling and I'll try to check those in between. But otherwise, I'm excited to share this with you. So as I was saying just a few minutes ago, if we have not met before, I'm Kate Storey. Nick, my husband, he is helping out with this as well. And we teach at Bookmore Brides, we teach marketing and messaging to wedding business owners so that you can book more weddings and make more money in your wedding business. At the end of the day, that is everything that we do. It's everything that we are focused on, right? And the thing is, we have seen too many wedding pros struggle to get leads online or just feel unsure about how to talk to their leads in a way that makes them want to buy, and worry that they're not looking like a legit business, like they're not showing how professional they are online. That makes them feel like they can compete, especially if you're starting off in your business, or maybe there are some bigger businesses in your space that you feel like, it's tough to compete with them for whatever reason. Well, the thing is, I want to encourage and empower you guys that when you get your marketing and messaging right, and when you feel confident in your sales, it's not going to matter whether or not there's someone who's been in the industry for a lot longer than you, or if they have more people on their team or anything like that. Because when you get the things that I'm going to be teaching about today and tomorrow, when you get those right, those types of things aren't going to matter anymore, okay? Because you're able to clearly communicate why you are the best choice, why you are the right wedding pro for your couples. And it just makes everything so much smoother, so much easier, okay? And Bookmore Brides has actually been around for about 12 years now. And we have helped thousands of wedding business owners throughout those years, Bookmore Brides has, by turning leads into bookings and helping you to make more money in your wedding business. Like I said, that's the heart of everything that we do here. We're teachers at heart. We want you to feel like you have the education and the training and the knowledge to do what you are best at, which is your service, okay? And there is something I do want to make kind of clear real quick, is that at Bookmore Brides, we're not going to teach you how to be a better photographer or a better DJ or a better florist or planner or whatever it is that you do, okay? We are trusting that when you come to us, you already know how to do that. You know how to be awesome at your service and to do what you do. You are already good at that. You've put the time in, you've got the training, you've done all those things, right? Where we are here to help you is to help you with the marketing side of things, the messaging, the sales, the things that makes it difficult for people to otherwise, if we don't get them right, it makes it hard for people to understand why you are so good at this, why you have valuable service level and valuable knowledge and a way to make your couple's wedding day better because you were part of it. So many times you guys are like Nick will say, it's like a billboard in the woods, right? It's like, you are so amazing. You could have all the right things set up in your business. But if people don't know about you, or if they don't understand what makes you different, what makes you better, then they're not going to be able to choose you, right? They're not going to understand what sets you apart, what makes you worth a higher price, what makes you worth being chosen over someone else. So that is what we're going to be talking about kind of at a high level with this training today and tomorrow. But that is everything that we do here, okay? And one of the ways that we help wedding pros is our Wedding Business Acceleration membership. And I don't know if, Nick, we're ready to do our winner yet. We've already picked that, if we need a little more time. Some of them maybe need a little more time. So I do want to let you guys know we are going to be giving away a 1-year membership to our Wedding Business Acceleration membership, but this is only going to be for the people who are here right now and have registered. Obviously, if you are here right now, you have registered, you have taken the time, and you are here. So you are going to be the ones that are eligible for it. So Nick is going to let me know when we are ready to pull all that together. So we want to make sure we do a kind of a random name picker and everything. So we want to make sure that we get all that set for you. So, okay. So we will be doing that, giving away that 1-year membership in just a little bit. But when it comes to this workshop here, okay, you're here because you want to know how to make your wedding business bulletproof, right? You want to know that your wedding business is going to succeed no matter what the economy is doing. Well, the first thing I want to say to you is, don't stress out about this, okay? Don't let it become this major cause for concern, okay? Because couples are still going to get married. We saw this with the pandemic, right? Things got real weird all around the world, and couples were still getting married. They just got super creative about it, right? And so many of you got creative about the way that you served those couples as well. But the thing is, they didn't stop getting married, all right? And the thing is, it doesn't matter if times are good, times are tough, our industry is going to survive, okay? So I don't want you guys to feel like if things get weird in the economy that, our business is in danger of going under because people aren't getting married anymore. No, that's not it. And I'm not trying to freak you guys out or make you scared about that either. But all of this talk about a recession is a good reminder to make sure that your house is in order, okay? Some news articles I was looking at today are saying that even if we're not currently in a recession, like all the signs are there, but it's people have different definitions of whether or not it's happening currently or if we're heading towards one. A lot of people agree that we might be in one in the next year or two, okay? So this is a really good time to get solid on the things that I'm going to be teaching about. And especially because we can no longer rely on word of mouth or referrals to keep our business going. And these past 2 years were a really good example of that, weren't they? One of our 6-figure wedding pros that we have worked with, I just love this quote that he had shared kind of in the middle of the pandemic. He said, if your wedding business is built on word of mouth, it's going to die. And that's a pretty strong statement. But this is from a guy who he knows what he's doing. He's got a successful business, and he recognizes that just counting on people to, on good faith to share your business or to encourage you, yes, they will do that. But to have that be the center and your only source of marketing is a very, very dangerous scenario. Because the thing is, what happens when we don't have as many weddings, maybe for whatever reason, either with the, things going on with a pandemic, or maybe you have to take a little break in your business. Maybe you saw some of that wedding boom over the last year, right? And maybe you took a little bit of a break. We actually talked to a lot of wedding business owners who were like, I need to slow things down a little bit because they took on way more than they normally would simply because of the demand. And so if that was you and maybe you slowed things down a little bit, well, when you don't have as many weddings coming in, you don't have as many now referring you out now, do you? We have to make sure that we have got our online marketing game strong, okay? We have to make sure that we are standing out online, because if we don't do that, we are going to struggle. End of story. That's just the truth, okay? Our couples need to find us online. They need to be able to clearly understand what we offer, how we're different, how they can work with us, and why they should be choosing us. And all of that information that has to happen online, okay? Now, the question with all of this is, okay, what does this have to do with a recession, right? What does all this have to do with it? Well, first, I was doing some research for you guys, looking everything up, and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce had a great article on its website and was saying it's important to continue marketing your business even during an economic downturn, and they had a couple of tips. Some of the things they suggested were to, in order to build your business and to keep your marketing going, the reasons why and some of the things you need to be doing is to build customer loyalty, develop a unique selling proposition. In other words, say what makes you different and show how you're different, right? Pay attention to your competitors and stay consistent in your marketing. These are all the things that are important that we have to keep doing no matter what's going on, but especially during a recession, okay? And the second thing that we have to realize is that when the economy is down, people get choosy with how they spend their money, okay? They don't stop spending money, but they get much more particular about who they're spending it with and making sure that it's going to be spent in the right way. And this means we have to show our couples why we are the clear choice for them to wisely spend their money. And we have to make sure that we are doing this by standing out from the competition and doing it fast, okay? And the reason why I say that is because there's two very important numbers that I need you to know and remember. The first one is half a second. This is how long it takes for your lead to make a snap judgment about your wedding business. Half a second, okay? First impressions are everything. And I'm going to be going into this, talking about this a lot more tomorrow, okay? Today I've got a couple of foundational things I got to set the stage for you first before we get to that point. But the other thing I need you to remember is the 6-second rule. And if you listen to our podcast, the Bookmore Brides podcast, or if you've joined us in the Bookmore Brides community on Facebook, you may have heard us talk about this before. But just as a refresher, 6 seconds is how long we have to convince a lead to decide to stick around on our website, scroll through and get to know us more, or to bounce out and go find somebody else. 6 seconds, that's all we have, guys, to convince them to stick around and get to know more about us. And this is why we have to be ridiculously clear about what we do, who we work with, and how we can help our leads to make sure that they're getting exactly what they want for this part of their wedding. All right? And I'm going to be talking about that today. That's part of the training that I'm going to be doing on today. So how do we make sure that we're doing this? Like I said, I'm going to focus on the 6 seconds thing for a little while here, okay? How do we make sure that we're doing all those things I just mentioned in 6 seconds or less, okay? Well, you need a plan. And that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today and tomorrow. And this plan is what we call cracking the booking code. And this is a 3-step process that really makes sure that you have your wedding business marketing and messaging and sales in a really strong point. Once you have these 3 things set up, you can veer off into trends and different ideas, blogging, TikTok, Instagram Reels, whatever. You can go off from there. But you have to get these 3 things right, or else everything else you do is going to be for naught, okay? I don't know if anybody uses that term anymore, but I like saying it. So it's something that if we don't get these things right, you're going to struggle in your wedding business, okay? That's just how it is. This is the truth because this is how our leads function. This is what they do, the process that they go through in order to decide whether or not we are someone worth spending their time with, that they want to invest their money with, and that they want to trust this part of their wedding business to, okay? So cracking the booking code, this is a 3-step process, like I mentioned, okay? You have to first bring them in the right way. Second, you have to make sure they like what they see when they get there. And third, you have to make sure that you close them the right way. And those 3 steps may sound a little simple, right? They sound like maybe it's kind of easy to figure out, right? But knowing how to put this to work for your wedding business, your particular wedding business, that's going to make all the difference between struggling to get bookings or making the money that you want to make in your wedding business. Okay, that's going to make all the difference is getting these 3 things solid and getting them set for you, not generic things, customized and specific for you. Okay. So today I really want to talk with you about that first step, bringing them in the right way. What this means is being ultra clear about who you're talking to and what they really want. Because I really want you guys to remember this. If you're waiting until the sales call to build a relationship with your leads, I can guarantee you are losing money. I guarantee it, honestly, because you remember that 6-second rule? Our leads are overwhelmed, they're distracted, they're uncertain. So we have to help them see that we have the solution that we're looking for. And we have to do it quickly. We have to do it at the front part of this relationship with them, okay? We can't count on the sales call to be where we're getting to know them and building that relationship where they get to see how amazing we are and everything. So few of our leads get to that stage. we have to do this at the front end of this, which means making sure that from the moment they learn about our business, that they come across us through an online search, whether they're referred to us by someone else, whether they find us on Wedding Wire or the Knot, right? We have to make sure that we are doing our very best to communicate clearly what it is that we offer them, why we're different, and how they can work with us. So, so important, okay? So, like I said, they're distracted, they're overwhelmed, they're uncertain. They need someone to clearly tell them that we get them, that we know what it is that they really want. But you're not going to do that if you are saying the same thing as every other wedding pro out there, okay? You have to know what your couples are really looking for, okay? And that means you have to know their emotional needs. Now, what the emotional needs is, understanding that and getting why it's so important. The emotional need is understanding the why behind what they want from your wedding business or from your service, okay? Because it is so much more than great music or a beautiful venue or great photography or taking the stress out of their wedding day, okay? It is so much deeper than that. Because people don't buy things, they buy feelings. They need to be able to buy from you because they feel a certain way about what you're going to do for them on their wedding day. So we have to make sure that we understand what that is, okay? And we can't just expect our couples to figure out on their own why we're valuable to them and that we get them and we know what it is that they truly want from our service, okay? It's our job to show them, both in our words and in our images, okay? So on the things that we're showing online and making sure that it lines up with the words that we're saying. And both of those things have to so clearly reflect that we understand what it is that they really want, what it is that they want at a much deeper and emotional level from our service, so much more than just the thing that they're buying, okay? And the thing is, when you get this right, you'll know exactly what to say to your couples to get them to want to reach out to you and book a call with you, because they're going to realize that they finally found someone who gets them and isn't just spouting off the same thing as every other wedding pro in your space, right? You're showing them that you know what's really important to them. And when you know what your couples value, you become valuable to them, okay? And I really want you guys to feel confident in this because I know you can. I know you can do this. That's one of my favorite things to do with our students is to help them to discover this. Because what I really know is that you guys know deep down what it is that your couples really want. You do. But sometimes it's hard to put it into words. It's hard to really get that out and to say it in a clear way that means something to your couples, that connects with them, right? You know what it is. It's just kind of hard to figure out the words, right? Have you guys ever felt like that before? Like, if I just knew what to say to them, like I could close more couples, right? So many of you have told me that. Well, I want to do a little exercise with you guys so that way you can see that this is possible and to help you feel like at the end of the session today, you feel a little more clear on this, okay? So I think I had mentioned in the emails leading up to this, I had suggested make sure you have pen and paper, right? This is the time to get it out. Grab a sheet of paper, grab something to write with, and I want you to write this sentence down. I help couples blank so they can blank, okay? I'm going to say it again. I help couples fill in the blank so they can fill in the blank. I want you to fill this in after the session today. I don't want to distract you too much from what we're talking about right now. So fill this in after the session ends. But I want to challenge you to go deeper than just a surface level answer or how you might answer it right away, like the first thing that comes to mind, right? Because you might be tempted to say something like, I help couples have a beautiful space to get married in so they can have the wedding of their dreams. Or I help brides plan their dream wedding day so they can be less stressed and enjoy it more. And these are true statements, right? You're definitely doing those things. But I want you to remember, what we offer it's so much more than that, Okay, it's so much more than the service you offer. So let me give you an example of how this works, how we can go a little bit deeper and really get to those emotional needs in that part there, okay? One of our florist students, we helped them to say, I help couples express their unique style through flowers so they can create a lush, romantic atmosphere for their guests that will set their wedding day apart. Now, can you guys see how that's so much different, so much more different than just saying, I help couples get beautiful floral arrangements so they can bring their vision for their wedding flowers to life. By the way, that's something for real I found on a website. I did some research on this, and that actually was on a florist website, and one that was actually pretty high up in the search rankings. I want you guys to realize that when you can get deeper down and say the things that where it's like, oh my gosh, that just, it makes your leads sit up and take notice. Because again, now you're saying something completely different than everybody else in your space. And not only that, you're saying something that connects with them, that is actually speaking to them and making them feel like you get them at a really deep level. And can you see how when you do that, when you can clearly say that, how that's going to elevate you above your competitors? Because if you're all saying the same things, you're all saying, I help you get a great, beautiful wedding day with this and make your dream come true. If you're all saying the same thing, what happens? It becomes white noise. It sounds all the same. You all sound the same to an overwhelmed bride who's like, I don't know what to choose. I don't know what to do. Here's another thing. How many of your couples that you have worked with, the ones that have hired you, and you said like, hey, why did you choose me? Why did you decide that, to go with me? And they'll say, I don't know, I just had like a gut feeling. Like I just felt like we connected, right? This is what we're trying to put into words. We're trying to put that gut feeling and that connection into words. And when you can do that, and it is possible, start with this sentence, that'll get the wheels turning, okay? When you can get this clear and you can find those words for it, now you are elevating yourself above that white noise. And all these wedding pros who are all saying the same thing, I'm going to give you your dream wedding day and make your vision come to life. Now you're saying something that is much deeper and connects with them so much more, so much more clearly and emotionally than everybody else. And the thing is, when you can do that, now they can see why you're valuable. They're like, oh, all right, this one's different. And when they start to see that you have a higher value, they can see that you have a higher value, right? You do. They just don't know how to see it yet. We have to do this work so they can see it. And when they do, price is not going to be a problem anymore, you guys. Because think about this, going back to the surface level statements. Everybody's saying the same thing, right? And an overwhelmed bride hears it all looks the same to her. What does she have to go off of now? Price. That's the only thing that's going to now differentiate or set you apart from everybody else, because otherwise you all look the same. So what is the only thing that's going to be different? Your pricing and your packages. And that's where we start to get into problems, because that's where we start to have to offer discounts or bundle things together or give more. It starts to devalue us, because now we're having to do that price jacking, because they're going to come to you and say, oh, well, so-and-so quoted me this. And now you feel like you got to lower your price or you got to give a discount, right? Something like that. I don't want you guys to have to do this anymore, because you are worth so much more than that. You are valuable to your couples. So we got to put in the work and have the right words and the right images that also visually reflect those words to show that we are valuable to them. Because when they know that we get what they value, we become valuable to them. All right. And so with that statement, let me go over it one more time, because I think I heard somebody pop in between when I was talking about this. That statement I want you to answer today after the session. I help couples fill in the blank so they can fill in the blank. Put some thought to this, you guys. Put a little bit of time into it. And like I said, I think it's going to get the wheels turning for you, and it's going to start to help you to think at a deeper level about how what you do for your couples is so much more than just the surface level service that you offer. Okay. I really hope that gets you guys excited and you start feeling like you're getting like to a new level on your wedding business here. Okay. So I know that's what our students tell us. They're like, oh my gosh, like they knew it. They knew they were good, but now they know how to tell people that they're good in a way that means something to their leads, right? That's the magic. So once you have that statement, you can post it in the Bookmore Brides community on Facebook for feedback. If you're feeling brave enough, I promise it is a very nice group of people. No one's gonna make you feel bad. No one's gonna give you a hard time. Okay, you can post it there. We can give you some feedback, or just bring it tomorrow, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, but it is going to be important and good to have for tomorrow's training. All right. And this is just the beginning of our cracking the booking code method. Remember, I told you guys this is step one, which is you have to bring your leads in the right way. You have to bring in the right people in the right way by saying and showing them the things that they need to hear and see. Okay, that's just the first step. And this is how we help amazing wedding pros show their value so that they can stand out from the competition and make more money in their wedding business. Do you see what I did there? I used the statement. We help wedding pros show their value so they can stand out from the competition and make more money in their wedding business. Okay? We practice what we preach here. And I hope you can see how, hopefully, that shows how we are different than other people who are saying, you know, I'm going to teach you how to stand out online, or I'm going to teach you how to get your marketing right. No. We're going deeper than that, guys. We help you guys in a much deeper way because we know that this is what makes the difference. We know when you've got that messaging right, it makes your marketing so much easier. It makes your sales so much easier because now you have warmed them up, right? They already see your value. You don't have to spend your sales call trying to convince them that you are valuable and why you're so great, right? They already know it. You've taken the time and you've done it ahead of time. So now that's already out of the way. They're already super excited because you've shown them that you get them and you know what it is they really want. Now it's just a matter of talking with them, being able to be present with them and actually hear from them what it is that they really want for their wedding day in terms of them in particular, right? Because every couple is unique, okay? I'm not trying to say that every couple that you work with is all the same, but I will tell you something. There is going to be a connecting thread among all of them. And that's where you get to that emotional need. When you figure out that emotional need, you'll see that it's something that each of your couples all has a connecting thread. They're all connected in one certain particular way. Even if maybe they have a, they see life a little differently maybe than each other, and they might have different priorities when it comes to different areas of their wedding. But you'll find that at a heart level, there's something that they all have in common. And that's the emotional need that we're trying to get to. So I'm going to take a quick break and ask Nick, are we ready to give away a membership? We are. Woohoo! All right. So I told you guys at the beginning that that I'm so glad that you guys are here, and I wanted to say thank you by giving you guys one of you to get a 1-year membership to our Wedding Business Acceleration membership. This is where we have over 70 on-demand workshops where you can learn all about different areas to grow your wedding business. We have workshops on texting your leads, getting your website in a good spot, sales conversations and tips to make that a little easier for you, right? Tons and tons of workshops, all on demand, and you get access to that for a full year. So who is the person we're going to pick, Nick? Do you want to come on and say it? Hold on. Wait, I think you're muted. Can you go on?
Today's winner is Lee Osborne.
Woo-woo! All right, Lee, congratulations. Yay. All right, I'm so excited that you are able to be part of this. And so Nick will send you some information to help get you all set up. But 1 year of being able to get all sorts of great training for your wedding business. I am so excited for you, Lee, and I'm so glad. And I hope it makes a difference for you. And I would love to hear, once you get in there, kind of explore a little bit some of the workshops that sound really interesting to you and the ones that you would really like to focus on as you start off in this membership. So congratulations. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited that you were able to get that. All right. Well, like I said, when it comes to everything that we're talking about, step one, you have to make sure you're bringing them in the right way, that they let you know, and that you are saying the right things and showing them the right things. So you're bringing in a higher quality couple, right? No more couples that are only caring about price and everything, because when you're getting to that heart level, remember, price is not going to be the problem anymore, because they understand why you're valuable now. They can see your value clearly, okay? Steps 2 and 3, which is making sure they like what they see when they get there, and that you close them in the right way, okay? These are the things I'm going to be talking about tomorrow and going in depth on that. But this method is just one of the ways that we help awesome wedding pros like you guys to show your value, stand out from the competition, make sure that the marketing and messaging and sales of your wedding business, which is really the heart, like what drives your wedding business, okay? Like it's what you do is so important. But if people don't know about it, they don't know how amazing you are and how they can work with you, you're going to have a really hard time showing them your awesomeness, right? You're going to have a really hard time growing your wedding business. So we have to get these things right. Marketing and messaging and sales are so important. And I think you guys know that, because I think that's probably why you're here, right? It's probably why you decided to join the workshop. But this is also what we do every single day in the Growth Academy. And that is our group coaching program for wedding pros who are ready for a simple path to make more money in their wedding business by booking the couples that they love. And I do want to invite you guys to join us in this program. This is where we work every single week with a group of very incredible wedding pros, anywhere from brand new people who are just starting off their wedding business to people who have been in the industry for a really long time, but know and understand the value of staying strong on their marketing. Remember what I said at the beginning of the training here? That was one of the things that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce had suggested, was to make sure that you do not stop marketing in down times. And the ones who kept marketing, who kept their business going during the pandemic and during the times when things were a real roller coaster, right? They were the ones who continued to market their business. They didn't give up on that area. They didn't cut it, and they didn't slow down. They stayed consistent. And that is how they were able to weather the storm and keep going, right? And I want to tell you guys, you can get started in the Growth Academy today. And I'm going to give you guys a special deal that if you join us in the next 24 hours only, you're going to get a bonus jumpstart call with us where we're going to help you find some quick wins for your business. Because with so many of you guys, like you're so close. Like so many, it's just like one or two like little things that you need to just kind of get unstuck and unstopped from your business. And things become so much easier, right? Where you're able to now more clearly talk with your couples. You're able to bring them in much more easily. You can close them so much more easily, right? So in this call that you'll get when you join us in the Growth Academy, but only in the next 24 hours, okay? That's the only time this is going to be available to you. We're going to help you find out where you're stuck and help you find some opportunities to bring in some additional income quickly, okay? Because we know that this is what you guys really need. You need to find some ideas, some paths to go down, right? A simple plan that you can start to follow. This is what we help you do throughout the Growth Academy. But if you join us in the next 24 hours, you will get a specific special jumpstart call where we're going to help you to get unstuck in that area. Find some of that, low-hanging fruit. That's some marketing term. People say, basically an easy win, some quick wins. So that way you can start to get unstuck faster in your wedding business and leap ahead in the program, okay? And let me tell you a little bit more about the Growth Academy and what you get in it. Every week we have group calls where you can ask questions and get feedback on your business and marketing strategy, on your sales tactics, your social media efforts, copywriting, writing for your website, your emails, ads you might be running. And all of this is tailored to the wedding industry, okay? No generic tips here. Everything is customized and taught by people who know the wedding industry, okay? And every month, in addition, you also get a 1-hour private coaching session. So you can focus on what you need to focus on right now in your business, okay? So you can get more bookings and make more money in your wedding business. Every single month you get it's included a 1-hour private coaching session, okay? It's included with your membership and available every single month. And not only that, but you get access to our Growth Academy community in our private Facebook group. And this is the one, I'll be honest, I didn't expect this to become such a heartfelt center of our business, this community that's in the Growth Academy here. So many people in the Growth Academy, so many of our students have told us that this is one of their favorite parts of being in the Growth Academy, because being an entrepreneur is kind of a lonely thing, isn't it? It can be really hard to find other people who are walking down the same path as us, right? And more than anything, what you guys have also told us is that it's hard to get connected with other wedding pros, to be able to ask questions and actually get answers back, because most of the groups that you guys are part of or the other networking opportunities that you might have, a lot of times they're filled with your competitors. And either one, you're a little worried about, and I don't blame you, giving away anything that, might give your competitors some ideas or feel like they're going to get an advantage over you. But secondly, that you're not able to get the answers to the questions you have because they're feeling the same way. They don't want to give away any secret sauce or like anything that's going to make them, show that maybe they're not as strong in their wedding business, or they just don't want to help you. They don't want to see you succeed, right? That is the difference between those networking groups and what you find in our Growth Academy community. This has become a group where everybody is encouraging each other. They will ask questions. Hey, I'm seeing this happening in my wedding business. Have you guys dealt with this before? And people will give honest feedback and answers and ideas. And it's been so cool to see the way that so many of our students have either, paired up, ones that are close enough in a regional area where they'll go do styled shoots together, or they will just say like, hey, this is what I've been seeing in the market lately, just heads up, or, what are some ways that we can maybe, work on this together, or what are you seeing, right? And just getting some feedback and answers and encouragement. And it's also a place where they're coming to be inspired, because as people are saying, so for example, we had one of our students, she was having some really great success with Instagram ads. And because she wasn't worried about giving away her secrets to local competitors or anything like that, she was able to share with our community why it was working, what she was doing, how she came up with these things, and the way that she was monitoring and measuring it all. So that way other people in the group could say, you know what? I've been thinking about running some Instagram ads, and, or I've run them in the past and they haven't really worked for me, and maybe I should try, something like this. And they're able to ask her questions. Well, why do you think this worked? Did you try this first? She was able to give her experience, and now she's inspiring other people to do some cool things in their business and to be able to grow in ways that otherwise they either might not have been able to get those ideas and that inspiration, or just would have tried and throwing spaghetti at the wall and were never able to get any real feedback on what's going right, what's going wrong, and why. That is everything that we do inside of the Growth Academy. It's training, it's support, it's encouragement, but most of all, it is growth in your wedding business. Not only in the amount of leads that are coming in and the income that you're making, but in terms of the way that you run your wedding business and feeling confident in its growth, okay? So Nick is adding a link into the chat, I believe, about the Growth Academy, so you can learn more about it. And like I said, when you join us in the next 24 hours only, so by the time we come back for tomorrow's session for the workshop, you have to join us by then, you'll get that bonus jumpstart call to help you find some quick wins and start bringing in some additional income, okay? And our Growth Academy students, like I said, they are doing such great work to finally get unstuck in some big areas of their business, make some big leaps that they knew were possible for them, but they just really didn't know how to get it before, right? They couldn't get that feedback. They couldn't figure out what was going wrong, and how to make it right? They're getting bookings from their website when they never were before. They're closing leads faster because they don't have to prove their value, like we were talking about a minute ago, right? They don't have to prove their value to their leads in a sales call. They don't have these leads that are coming to them. They're like, yep, sell me. Tell me why you're so amazing. No, that's already happened because they've done the work. They've front-loaded that relationship. They didn't wait for the sales call to come to build that relationship and to tell them how amazing they are. That's already been done on the front end. These leads are coming to them warmed up, excited, ready to find out how they can work with them. They're most of the way there, and they just need to now get into that call and be able to understand some specifics for their unique wedding, right? And our students are going from struggling to successful. And one of my favorite people that I love to talk about and to really hype him up, because I'm just so proud of him, is our student Brady. He is a decor specialist in Oklahoma, and he put what he learned in the Growth Academy to work. And he went from making $10,000 in his business the year before he met us to $100,000 in less than a year. And it's not because he wasn't good at what he did. He was amazing at what he did. He just had a couple of things of his business that were stuck, and he didn't know how to move forward. So when he joined us in the Growth Academy, he had those private coaching sessions. He was able to go through the training, and then he put it to work. That's the real magic, guys, right? You need the information, the training, but you have to also be willing to do the work to make it come to life for your wedding business. And he did it. And he grew his business 10 times what it was in the previous year. And like I said, it's because he was already amazing at what he did. He just needed to know what to do to get more people to see how amazing he was, right? And I'm so proud of him. And I love to see his success. He still checks in with us and lets us know what's going on. He was able to buy a van for his business, and so he can transport the decor much more easily. He was able to rebrand his website. He's moving and he's expanding his business. I'm just so proud of him, because so many of you guys, you know that you have more possible for you. You know that there's more that you could be doing and that you could have so much more in your wedding business, but you're just not sure how to get there. That's the reason why we created the Growth Academy. We wanted to give you guys those tools to get unstuck and to make sure that you can now move forward, because you know how to connect with your couples in the right way. You know how to make sure that they are warmed up, and by the time they get to the sales call, they're like, how could I possibly hire anybody else? How could I go with anyone else for my wedding? These people are the ones. That's what I know is possible for you in your wedding business. And this is what we do every single day in the Growth Academy. And it's so amazing to see the transformations happening. So I want to, again, invite you guys to check it out. Nick's got the link in the chat. Take a look at it. And you know what? If you guys have some questions about how this could work for your business, if you're not sure, if this is the right time for you, or you just have some questions about how it could work for you, what you would, might need to do. Nick's also putting a link to our consultation link here, and just jump on a quick call. No pressure, just some honest answers for questions you might have about how it would work for you, what you might need to do, and how to figure out the next steps for you, right? So tomorrow I'm going to be sharing the rest of our cracking the booking code method, steps 2 and 3. We're also going to be giving away another prize, which is a 1-hour private coaching session with either me or Nick. So you can talk about messaging and marketing, or you can ask questions about business strategy and sales with Nick. Your choice, okay? And this can be added on top of your Growth Academy private coaching sessions that you get, okay? So instead of getting one every month, now you've got a bonus one to start off, get that kickstart going, right? But remember, you have to be here on the call to win it, so make sure that you join us 1 p.m. Eastern here tomorrow, okay? So I see we do have a little bit of time left over, and I don't know if you guys had some questions that you wanted to ask and try to get some information on. I don't know if there's anything we talked about today that you wanted to ask. I would love to invite you guys to unmute and ask it, and I would be happy to answer them. Or Nick, too. He's here, too. Anyone feeling brave enough or excited enough to want to ask some questions? I would love to talk with you. I see Lee with a puppy. It's so cute. Sorry, I couldn't see earlier. Oh, so adorable. Oh. All right. Oh, Daphne, yes, go ahead.
What autoresponder do you recommend? Do you have a choice, options, any options to recommend?
Nick's probably the best one for that. She's asking about an autoresponder, any autoresponders that we could recommend.
Sorry, I couldn't hear them. I go autoresponders. Yes, well, there are many of them out there, but if you haven't checked out our Bookmore Brides follow-up system, we have our own CRM system that does not just follow up like autoresponders for email, but for texting too. And texting is king right now. So you want to do both. So I'll be happy to drop that link in the chat for you. Otherwise, message me or tell me a little more about what are you trying to do with the autoresponder? How can that help you? Can you tell me a little more about that?
I need one to be connected with my website. I don't yet have one on my website. Well, actually I do, but not actually I do, but I meant like for my Instagram and other medias.
I don't know if you heard her, Nick. She was saying about the having one connected to her website and everything.
I have one to my website. Again? Actually, that's just to input your name and all that. But I meant so I can save it and use it for further promotion.
Yeah. Let me.
And put Instagram and my Facebook page.
Yes, that's a great question. I'll pull it up right here to show you a little bit about 1 second. Boom. Let me see if I can get it up here. Okay. You love technology, right? Kate, dance for a second.
Sorry. Yep. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was responding to Lee because he was giving a hard time. So the tech and everything.
Thanks, Lee.
I said, no, he's too good. I can't.
All right. So, John, will you go ahead and drop the link in the group if you could? Pages, or I'll do it in a second. Maybe I got it here. But basically, the Bookmore Brides CRM is something that we have, and I would love you to explore anybody in here. It's a great program for following up, but what it really is capturing those leads, not just with emails, but texting too. Because if you don't first you have to capture them, then you have to nurture them, because you can spend all you want on ads, and if they don't like what they see when they get there, and guess what? They want to get a hold of you, but you've made it hard for them to get a hold of you. It just doesn't work, So this helps you nurture them, because we show stats in our group that the difference, was showing someone this morning, of what a few follow-ups will do, a few touch points will do for your sales, like it completely changes. So Kate will talk more about that tomorrow, but then getting them on a quick call or a tour for your place. So I have a whole page that talks more in depth, but let me show you behind the scenes here for a second. And if anybody else has any other questions at the moment, please ask them away as well. Yeah. Let me see if I can grab a private example.
Yeah, it's interesting how all of this works together, and it's like, see, that's the thing. It's like you get the foundation set up, you know how to say things in the right way, but then you also do need the tech side. You do need these things, because this is what our couples are used to now. We can't pretend that like they're cool with us like dropping off a paper contract and like, only talking over the phone. I mean, there's all sorts of crazy stats that talks about like the majority of the people who are getting married right now, okay, their generation, they don't want to talk on the phone. They want to text, okay, because that's just easier for them. It allows them to, respond faster, especially if they're in a work situation or they're just in other social settings or whatever. They're much more willing to respond to you if you can text with them rather than if you're just calling them or leaving a message, right? So you do need to have both of these things, because once you know how to say it to them in the right way and they start reaching out to you, well, how do you make sure that you are leading them towards wanting to book with you? Well, the first thing you got to do is make sure you're responding quickly to them and that you are giving them information to be able to want to go back and forth and have that conversation with you, right? There's a lot to this, but it doesn't have to be super complicated. Just got to have the right things in place.
And any CRM system, hopefully Lee, you don't mind, I'm kind of showing yours since you're on the call today, but your system should be able to email and text out. And Lee's in England, so it doesn't text out very well to England across the pond there, but it does have emails and back and forth. And that's such an important part, is not just having a duct tape solution where you get a Weber and a whole bunch of different things, but having everything on your website, make it easy for your leads to talk with you and for you to talk back to them. And I can go on and on. I'll probably do a webinar about it as well. But if you have further questions, please let me know, anybody, and kind of help you on how you can change it, just like we have for all of our other BMD customers. So.
Nice. All right. Any other
Janet
questions
had a
you guys
question, if anybody else doesn't.
Yeah.
Janet in the chat had asked about showing prices. And Lee has
age-old question.
The age-old question. So if you have a lot of leads, you for sure want to start showing prices to scare away the tire kickers, right? And if you don't have a lot of leads, then the answer is it depends. So we have to kind of talk about it. Now, there are some really cool ways we teach to use that question of pricing to be a lead magnet to gather leads for you and everything. So I would love to tell you the exact rule, but you can read online. This goes back and forth on whether to show prices or not. But there are some definite rules of thumb. And if you have enough leads, usually it's a yes, you show some prices, and it can be arranged to start scaring away the tire kickers or not. So,
yeah.
And Lee has a good question there, Kate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was knowing that too. So you said, Lee says, what's the emotional need of a bride that's hiring a singer? So let me tell you, we have a band leader in our Growth Academy, and he's been in the industry for a long time. Like he's not new to this. He has been doing this for a long time, but even he recognized that it's like he's got to get really clear on this, especially because it's not the same as it used to be, right? It's like it's so much easier for couples to just hire a DJ or anything. And I'm not knocking on DJs or anything like that, right? Everybody has different needs, okay? So a bride that's going to be hiring a singer, well, first of all, I would imagine it's because she values good music, right? It's like it's not that you don't appreciate good music if you're hiring a DJ, but it's a different appreciation, isn't it? And I'm saying that because I quote unquote was a musician. I played in the like concert band and everything like that in high school and college. But I do appreciate live music. I appreciate the beauty and the talent of live musicians. So you might want to think about that a little bit, and especially think about like some of the couples, the brides that you've worked with. Like, what have they said to you? And what is it, for example, like what kind of music are they asking for? Are they asking for songs that are very, very special to them? Like there's a big sentimental meaning behind it. There's a lot of times, like I said, put some thought into this. I think you'll start to see some patterns between the couples that have hired you and the type of songs that they've wanted you to sing and what the history is behind that. So I'm going to guide you to think about first the sentimental factor, like the history behind particular songs that they might want played, and two, about their appreciation for live music and what kind of an atmosphere that creates for their guests. So only you know this for sure, but that's how I would start to guide you. And I see Janet says, we get a lot of leads for birthdays, graduations, etc., but not always weddings. And I'm sorry, Janet, what can you remind me what your business is? Are you a planner? I don't know if she can unmute or not, but yes. Oh, event hall. Okay, sorry about that. So yes, so thinking about that, well, yes, so weddings, may be part of it and everything, but this goes back to what I was talking about earlier about finding that connecting thread. When you think about the people who end up booking with you, and as well as the way that you have your hall set up, the type of features that it has and everything, and how those clients might appreciate those features. I'd start to do some thinking and some thought work on, excuse me, what are some connectors to them? What are the things that they appreciate? And it may not be necessarily from a visual perspective or a location perspective, because I see here you have wedding chapel, social area, event hall, dressing room, kitchen, lounge. To me, that sounds like they may value convenience and like kind of a one-stop shop, kind of a business. But the question is, why? Why do they value having all of that in one location? And again, that's a question only you can answer. And I invite you to really think about that. Think about what is going on in their lives that would make them want to have a one-stop shop for all of those things and to have access to all of those things. And I think if you start thinking about the clients who you have hired, because again, we've had a student, first one that just came to mind here is a woman with a an event space, and it sounds very similar. She has a kitchen there, and they have a beautiful banquet area and hall and everything like that. And she helps with the decor. She helps to provide the decor, sits down, and it serves in a kind of a quasi planner role as well. She's able to guide them. A lot of them have ideas, they know what they want to do, but they could just use a little more guidance, and she's able to show them, hey, here's what I have and here's what I would do for you based off of what you're saying. And what it came down to for her was this, because I started to ask her, like, okay, well, what would they do if they didn't come to you? Like, what would be their other options? And for her, in the particular area of the country that she lives in, these are people who tend to, in the past for other celebrations, tended to be a little more private. They would have them at their home or at a family member's home or somewhere that was, perhaps not as specially decorated, or just an area that is specifically set aside for that particular event. And for them, it was their opportunity to make this event as special as it felt to them in their heart. And maybe that sounds a little cheesy to say, but the thing is, again, this is the emotional side. So thinking about for her, the brides, but she does a lot of baby showers, graduation parties, all of those things. For her clients, the difference was either they were going to have it in somebody's backyard, or they were going to have it at the specially set aside place where there is a chandelier and there is space to prepare everything, and it's going to be beautifully decorated. And it's giving it the attention and the specialness that her clients wanted for this particular event. It was their opportunity to make this a special event instead of, oh yeah, my family has always done it this way. We've just always kind of done this. It was their way to set their day apart and to make it extra special than perhaps other generations or other family members had not been able to do in the past. Okay, so you just got to think about that. What are some of the connectors that might be in between all those different kinds of people? And Janet, you say, we're definitely the one-stop wedding day. So I would think about that. Think about, what is it? Why do they want it to be a one-stop wedding day? A one-stop solution, okay? And it's very likely for convenience, but why? What's going on in their lives that they need that one stop? They need it all in one place, and they need it to be easy for them. There's going to be a reason, okay? So I hope that helps. It sounds like maybe it's got the wheels turning. So, all right. Well, I'm going to stop here for today. Come back here tomorrow, 1 p.m. We're going to be going over those other 2 steps and helping you to really round out this plan to make your wedding business bulletproof, get it prepared for a recession, down economies, whatever it is, but also just making sure that you are giving your wedding business the plan that it needs, that it deserves to be able to thrive and to grow in the way that you want it to. Okay, so come on back here tomorrow, 1 o'clock. I can't wait to see you guys. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Thanks, you guys. Bye.